Beta, be a good girl, sit quietly. Ananya, good girls don't argue. Only good girls get good things. We say these things before we've even decided to say them. Good girl, good boy. They're that automatic. And I want to show you today what happens over years and years to a girl who's learned that her value isn't being good. Not kind, not curious, not confident, good. Because the research on this is not subtle and it doesn't show up at 7. It shows up at 25, at 35, and her relationship with herself, with her own voice, with her own body, her own worth, and by then, she doesn't even know why she's feeling so. I am Ankita Barbie, Chandler Montessori expert, positive parenting, and neuroscience coach. In this channel, I bring you science-backed parenting videos for real Indian families every week, so do hit the subscribe button. And today, let's look at what being a good girl actually teaches underneath the words. It teaches be quiet when you feel like speaking. Don't push back even when you're right. Make others comfortable even when you're not. And your worth is in how you make others feel about you. And many Indian parents have said this for years. Their intention is beautiful. Be gracious, be appropriate, be respectful. But the child doesn't receive the intention. The child receives the instruction. After thousands of repetitions, the instruction believes a belief. I am good when I please others. I am bad when I stand up for myself. And this is the good girl conditioning. And the problem with this conditioning is that it doesn't stay in childhood. It spills over into many, 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 many years and many, many situations. Now let's talk about the research that shows about where this leads, right? What is the Indian context and what we are adding on top of it? Let's talk about 5 things to do instead of teaching. And, we're not going to teach our children rebellion and rudeness. We're going to teach them something far more powerful. All right. Researchers who've studied girls' development have spent decades tracking this pattern. Girls get rewarded for being agreeable, and they develop a good girl syndrome. Their own needs, opinions, desires, they become secondary, and they first want to show up for other people and manage their emotions. And over time, what happens? They have difficulty saying no. When something feels wrong, they don't say it. They become people pleasers at the cost of their own health. They might have anxiety, perfectionism, deep-rooted fear of disapproval, anger that has nowhere to go, and then finally quiet exhaustion, aggression, depression. And in adult life, what happens? They can't negotiate, they don't stand up for themselves, they don't set limits, even in their closest relationships, right? Self-confidence in girls actually peaks around the age 9, and it drops sharply around the age of 18, right? By 14, most girls have lost nearly a third of the confidence they had at the age 9, and that's not biology, that's conditioning. And what is happening in Indian family context, and I say this as someone who grew up in one, and I work with a lot of hundreds of families who have the same situation, the good girl message has a lot of weight. Girls are prepared for relationships from birth. They are taught to serve, to keep peace, and then log kya kahenge is another factor in this, So what really happens is we end up producing women who are exhausted, who have given for so long that they have forgotten what wanting feels like. Now, when these girls reach their 30s, they carry a grief they cannot name because they were so busy being good that they never found out who they were. So yeah, we're not raising bad children. We are raising children who will suffer quietly. And yes, we can choose differently because that's what the future generation needs from us. So keep watching if you have had good girl syndrome or you're raising someone who does, right? I want to ask you something. When you were growing up, were you a good girl? Did you get a lot of praise for being quiet, for being helpful, for not making trouble? And is there any part of you, even now as a parent, right, as an adult, who finds it hard to disappoint people? You find it hard to stand up for yourself, to say no, to take up space for yourself. Because here's the thing, you're not broken. You were just given the wrong instructions. But today you get to give different instructions to your child. And that, my ladies, is going to heal you. So let's go. Her feelings are information, not problems. Okay. So when Ria is angry, sad, scared, don't rush to smooth it over. Don't be upset. It's fine. Is good girl conditioning, Instead of that, you can say, you seem really frustrated. Tell me what's going on. Just listen, don't fix immediately. Teach her that her inner world is actually worth paying attention to. This is the foundation of everything. The second one, kind is not the same as nice. Kind means genuinely caring about others' well being. Nice means performing, performing pleasantness, no matter how you feel. Yes, we want kind daughters. We don't need nice ones. Okay. Practically, how does it mean? You don't have to hug your chacha if you don't want to. You can just wave hello. In this moment, you're teaching your child that our bodies know is very valid. You're building a safety system that is going to protect her for life. Number three, teach her to disagree respectfully. When Ria pushes back at you, don't shut her down. An argument with you is practice for every difficult conversation she's going to have. The goal is not to eliminate the argument. The goal is to teach the form the argument needs to take. So, how do we do this? I hear you. I disagree. Here's why. Practice it at dinner. Make it a game. The daughter who can disagree respectfully is not going to be silenced, in a marriage, at a doctor's office, in a boardroom, and that is the kind of daughters we need to raise. And number four, praise the courage, not compliance. Shift from you were such a good girl to you were brave. You tried something hard. You spoke up even when it was scary. I'm proud of that. What we praise is what we grow. If you praise compliance, you grow compliance. But if you praise courage, you will help your children grow courage. All right. Quality 5, let her see you. And this is the most important one, and it costs basically nothing. Let your child see you disagree with someone calmly, clearly. Let them see you say no without apologizing. Let her see you take up space. Let her hear you say, I need help without shame. You are her first template, the role model. Every time you disappear to keep the peace, your child is learning to disappear as well. But every time you speak your truth with grace, your child is learning that too. She learns that from you. I'm telling you something really, really powerful and true. One day your child will look back at her childhood and ask one question. Was I loved for who I was, or was I loved for how well I performed? And the answer to that question is going to shape her entire relationship with herself. It is already shaping it for the rest of their lives, right? You have the power in it. How you respond to her next argument. What do you praise her for from tomorrow? Whether you're letting her say no or not. Are you raising a daughter who knows she's worthy? Not because she's good, but just because she exists. That is one of the most amazing things a parent can do for their daughters. And if you want to do that work intentionally with science, with support, Raise is my 3-day program where we go together. Link is in the description. If you're not ready for a 3-day commitment, there's also a 2.5-hour webinar that you can enroll for. And if this video said something you needed to hear today, please share it. Because there's a mother somewhere watching her daughter shrink to fit the room. She needs to know there's another way. Please hit the subscribe button. I will see you next week with another video. And drop in comments what you thought about this video. Thank you.